Hi everyone, welcome back. You have watched videos on the first two parts of MUET Listening. So in this video, we are going to talk about the next one, part 3. In part 3, you will be listening to short monologues given by 3 different speakers. Each monologue will be about 100 to 150 words in length. The audio recording will take about 6 minutes in total. You are required to answer 3 matching questions from question 15 to 17 and 5 options will be given. The words or vocabularies used in the recording will be B2 level. Some listening skills which may be assessed in part 3 are as follows. Understand main ideas in linguistically complex speech. You will be tested on the ability to understand the main points spoken by the speakers. The content and language used are from different levels of complexity. Secondly, understand familiar and unfamiliar topics. Generally in MUET exam, you will come across a variety of topics from simple and familiar topics such as campus life, family, hobbies, to a harder and perhaps unfamiliar to you, for instance, work life, the economy, or health research. Lastly, following extended speech and complex line of argument on reasonably familiar topics. This means to see if you could understand issues in most recorded or broadcast sources such as TV news, radio programs, and film. So student, how can you tackle listening part 3? Firstly, you should listen for G's, which is listening for general meaning of the topic spoken. The best way to do this is to pick out key words while listening, as these words will help you figure out basic idea of the monologue. As you listen, you have to focus on what is being asked and ignore unnecessary details. For example, if the question asks what are the main problems, then listen to just that, the problems. Other info is irrelevant. In other words, you should practice selective listening, as not every word is important. The third way is appraising information or evaluating the key points taken earlier. Think about the information extracted and match with the correct speaker. Let's take a look at sample questions for part 3. What do you need to do first? It is crucial that you read the rubric stated because they give you information on the setting and context. So for this question, you have to listen to 3 people, Rajan, Susanna, and Chow, who will be talking about the safety measures at different parts of the house. Next, read the question carefully as it helps you to predict what you will listen to. So which part of the house is the speaker talking about? Okay, since you need to match only 3 answers, the other 2 options need to be eliminated. Finally, you should choose letters to match with the speakers. Remember to choose 1 letter per speaker. It's practice time. Let's listen to the first speaker and identify some keywords to help you figure out which part of the house is he referring to.
Speaker 1, Rajan.
A lot of accidents happen at home. There is always fire and hot pots and pans in our cooking area. To avoid getting burned, we should not handle hot pots and pans using our bare hands. Always keep paper towels, dish towels and pot holders away from the stovetop so they don't catch fire. The floor near the sink may get wet easily, and wet spots can be slippery. So, Always wipe up spills as soon as they happen. We have a lot of sharp objects like knives, scissors, and blades lying around in the house. These objects should be handled with care. Always pick up knives by their handle and do not point them at anyone. Be sure to only use a knife when an adult is close by and with supervision.
Okay, some helpful clues are identified, and they are fire, hot pots, pans in cooking area, paper and dish towels, pot holders, stovetop, floor near sink, and knives, scissors, and blade. So the stuff mentioned are usually placed in the kitchen area. Therefore, the match for speaker 1 Rajan is E, the kitchen. Did you answer correctly? Okay, next, what Susanna has to say.
Speaker 2, Susanna. Slippery and hard surfaces are dangerous in the house. To prevent falling, you can place non-slip mats on the floor. You should always keep the floor dry. Make sure it has no water, especially soapy water on it, as people can easily slip and fall. Do not leave water in the pails. Never leave a young child bathing alone, even for a moment, as children can drown even in a few inches of water. The lighting in your house is also important, but make sure you don't touch the switch with your wet hands. When you want to search for things, for example in the storeroom, the light should be bright. In this way, you can see things left on the floor, sharp objects, and even insects flying around.
So what are the important points mentioned by Susanna? Okay, slippery and hard surfaces, non-slip mats on the floor, soapy water, slip and fall, child bathing. Based on this thing, it is very clear that Susanna advised us to take safety precautions, mainly when we are in a bathroom. So the answer to question 16 is C, the bathroom. Do you have the same answer? Last but not least, listen to speaker 3, Chong.
Speaker 3, Chong.
Family members spend time watching television together. If you own a flat screen television, it can easily fall onto the child or pet if you accidentally knock it. Therefore, the flat screen television has to be firmly fixed to the wall. Sometimes the sockets on the walls are overloaded with too many electrical cables. This overload could start a fire. We should limit one electrical item to one socket. Children walk, skip, and run around the house. They may accidentally step on the many cables on the floor and fall. To prevent this, the cables should be wrapped up with electrical tapes. We should do the same for electrical items like your computer, printer, and Wi-Fi modem in the study room. With all the possibility of accidents, we should observe safety measures at all times.
Chong described the area in which family members watch TV together, flat screen TV installed to the wall, and overloaded electrical cables. Well, the description matches situation in a living room, don't you think so? Okay, let's revise some important details for part 3. You will listen to 3 short monologues spoken by 3 different speakers. Pay more attention to what is being asked and just ignore unimportant details. You need to write down relevant keywords related to the question. If you come across unfamiliar topics, try to visualize possible situations described by the speaker. Finally, please remember to match only one letter for each speaker. Okay, here are some reminders what you should do and should not do during listening exam. Okay, read ahead to be prepared. Read and listen to the instructions. Jot down important points. Concentrate fully while listening. Check your answers. But don't lose your focus while listening. Spend too much time on one question. Panic if you miss a question. Attempt it again during the second time. And don't leave any question blank. That's all from us. Hope you are able to score MUET listening paper. Bye for now.